Good people, good people, good, beautiful people. Welcome to More Than 2 Minutes, the podcast where we keep you dialed in from beginning to end. I'm your grateful host, Wil E, and thanks for checking out episode 1. In case you forgot, More Than 2 Minutes, the podcast is the community engagement arm for We Will for DeSoto TX, the movement we started during my recent city council campaign. Today's guest is someone who will roll with you like 4 flaps on a Cadillac, and that's for real. But not just knocking down doors and raising ceilings, because the impact is educational. From where they started to where they're headed is a journey of purpose, power, and perseverance. So pull up, lock in, and let's welcome Jamila Sherman, founder of J Sage Productions.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you guys for having me. How y'all doing? How you doing, Will?
I'm doing really well. I'm doing really, really well.
Good.
Okay, so before we get started, here at 2 minutes, I'm creating a tradition because I believe that it's important to give everyone their flowers when their flowers are due. And I know that coming on, taking time out of your day and everything, it's a sacrifice. So to commemorate this moment, I wanted to provide you with
Oh,
a
thank
gift.
you. You
And
deserve your flowers.
yeah, you deserve your flowers today. So that's what it's about, making sure we provide everyone with an opportunity to receive their flowers when their flowers are due, not when people want to give them their flowers, so to speak. So, all right.
Greatly appreciate
Oh, no
it.
worries, no worries, no
Thank
worries.
you guys.
So,
Honored to be here. Honored to be the first.
yeah, absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely.
indeed.
So we have our
Okay.
tea, right? We're
Yes.
here at Greenhouse Lounge and Wellness Center. I remember when I was doing the campaign, this was the place that invited us in, so to speak. There were a few places that we had an opportunity to go to, but Benicia Jones and everyone at Greenhouse, they just let us come in, let us make it home and everything. So now that we have a podcast rolling, I definitely wanted to do the first episode here, and this will be home basement.
Yes, yes. Happy to see that they're still flourishing. You probably kicked off the campaign, what, about 6 months ago?
Yeah,
6 months ago.
yeah.
So, in DeSoto,
I know.
be still standing after 6 months, that's a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely.
So hopefully you guys can keep that
Yeah.
relationship really going long term.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, More Than 2 Minutes is about talking about a journey. So a lot of times people tell you, well, you need to have your elevator speech ready in case that right situation or scenario is in front of you. And so you can speak to the executive or speak to the investors and boom, get whatever funds you need. Or when I was doing the campaign, they'd ask us a question at a forum and give us basically 2 minutes to solve world problems, right? But I believe that life is about the journey, it's not about the destination. So that's why I'm
Agreed.
saying that we need more than 2 minutes to tell our story. And so I know that you, being an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone who's rocking in these streets, okay, it's not easy, but I want to give you a platform to talk about your story. So let's start at the beginning, the origin story, okay? Who are you?
I love that question, but let's see if I can kind of sum it up. So, Jamila Sherman, born and raised in Dallas, Texas, Dallas native.
Yeah.
From the Oak Cliff area. My family's been residing in DeSoto for about 2 decades now, but
Oh,
my
yeah?
roots
Okay.
is Oak Cliff. So I went to TMU. I went away for undergrad, but I came back and went to UNC Dallas and
Yeah.
got my MBA. So always just passionate about anything dealing with southern part of Dallas,
Uh-huh.
just seeing that grow,
Mhm.
Black economics and all of those things. So when I was actually studying for my MBA at UNC Dallas, we had a requirement in our entrepreneurship class to create a business in
Okay.
order to graduate. So
Uh-huh.
I had a lot of friends who were in the entertainment space doing music and things like that. And I was studying strategic management.
Okay.
So I just kind of married the two. I'm helping my homeboys throw concerts and
Right.
promote their albums and things like that. And it kind of just snowballed. And I started getting more versed in entertainment on the festival side and event side for corporations.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's what I do. That's been my passion. Everything about that is just kind of been my thing. I helped
Right.
you with the campaign and
Right.
marketing.
Right.
I've been able to marry the two and being on the board with the city of DeSoto,
Yeah.
dealing with the arts. But overall, that's me.
Yeah,
In my
yeah.
free time, I'm even trying to go look at a museum or something.
Right,
But,
right. You see,
uh,
that's the one thing I forgot during the setup is that you are on the DeSoto, Texas Cultural Arts Foundation. But
mm-hmm.
before we talk about that, I want to go back to you being an Oak Cliff baby.
Yes.
Okay. All right. See, now, oh no, I did. I know when we met, I remember you saying that you were from Oak Cliff, but my brain is not. You're an Oak Cliff baby. Okay, I'm an Oak Cliff
Yeah.
baby. Okay. So let's
Yeah.
talk about Oak Cliff because I believe Oak Cliff, Texas is a unique little city within a
Mhm.
city of its own, right? So let's talk about some of your early years, the origin of when you figured out that being an entrepreneur, because I'm certain that when you were younger, maybe middle school, high school, those early years, you had to feel something that said, you know what? I'm going to pave my own path. So did you have any moments like that?
Actually, I was on the track to be a lawyer. So I went to Townview to be
Jamila
an
the lawyer.
attorney.
All right.
And I was in a law magnet and I was studying law. I used to intern for Brian Longcar when he was alive.
Yeah.
And I was on that path. Then I had one internship I'll never forget with, her name is Teresa Coleman. She's the founder of what was once called Tico Theatrical Productions, is now, I believe, the Bishop Arts, the Black women.
Right.
And I had an internship there. It was free,
Sure.
unpaid, but it was just my first time being in the arts and working with another entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And just seeing her birth that and want to live that, I immediately went back to my law teacher at the time. I think it was my senior year. And I was like, I don't want to get paid for my internship this year. I want to work and help this lady build her business
Right.
for free. And they were just like, girl, you've been in here studying in high school, practicing and studying to go to law school.
Right.
I did a complete 180. So by the time I graduated high school, I went on to undergrad for marketing.
Okay.
But even then, I didn't really think about doing my own thing. Just I liked helping people promote what they were passionate about.
Okay.
So similar to how I helped you.
Yep.
You were passionate about politics and just changing the world, and I felt
Yeah.
I can add to that. But the entrepreneur side definitely came when I was just seeing the need for it,
Yeah.
especially when I was studying for my MBA.
Okay.
And being around so many people who had just great ideas, and I was like, I know how to get people interested.
Yeah.
I know how to spread the word.
Yeah.
A lot of my professional career too, people have told me I'm the one that is good at bringing people in the circle, opening the circle, getting
Right.
everyone to sit down and talk and
Right.
kumbaya.
Right.
So I feel as though I could turn that into a business
Okay.
overall.
So now you're leaving Oak Cliff, the
Mhm.
confines of home, and you're venturing into Denton, right? Denton, Texas.
I went to
UNT Dallas.
yes,
Okay.
so the one that's in Oak Cliff.
Okay.
Yeah, right over
Oh,
there.
so you stayed in Oak
yeah.
Cliff. So you're an Oak Cliff baby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say overall, my life has really been everything south of the Trinity River, everything south of Loop.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So I did a little living. I lived in Addison for a couple of years, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, maybe I need to venture. Maybe I would have so many.
No, I think you're doing. I think you're doing well the
Yeah,
way that you're
yeah.
doing and everything. Okay, so going through college years,
Mhm.
right? Let's talk about those college moments, all right, for a minute, because I always believe that the road that we're on, there are a lot of intersections, there are a lot of
Yeah.
off ramps, there are a lot of on ramps, right?
Mhm.
Growing up in Oak Cliff, right, and then going to college in Oak Cliff, that transition and everything. Let's talk about Jamila in college.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a good part because I went to undergrad in Louisiana where there's a lot of, I would say, just mom and pop family owned
Right.
businesses.
Right.
So that helped me realize too that the family business is a real thing.
Yeah,
So a
yeah.
lot of them are graduating college to go home and run their business. And I was just like, wow, there's a need for entrepreneurship is like a thing in certain parts of the country and in
Mhm.
certain things.
Mhm.
So that kind of helped me embrace it even more. And then I was in Louisiana. I
Yeah.
started freshman year in New Orleans.
Oh, Lord.
The year the Saints won the Super Bowl.
Oh, no.
So it was a lot going on down there. I'll never forget. We went to college. I think the first week was like orientation
Yeah.
or something, and they bused us to the French Quarter.
Oh,
school bus.
no.
Freshmen.
What?
Most of us ain't even from the area.
Man, what did that GPA look
When
like
the
at the
city
end of
shut
the
down. It
semester?
was New Orleans, and the city shut down to celebrate the
Yeah.
Saints winning the Super Bowl. So I guess they kicked it off for the NFL season,
Yeah.
but it was a culture shock. I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot going on, but that definitely help mold me and help understand too. A lot of people in college running their own businesses. Some people in college,
Right.
non-traditional. They've already helped their parent with their family business. They come into school to get the professional side
Yeah.
and take it back to their family. So there was a lot of that in New Orleans, in Louisiana, and just that rich traditional culture out there.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about
It
being
was
down
very,
there.
very different.
Yeah.
To be frank, my parents said, "You've been used to being around black folks. You ain't been around nothing."
Yeah.
But and say that, so to speak, is Dallas is very traditional. There's not much family ownership. There's not much mom and pop. There are a lot of chain restaurants,
Right.
a lot of chain businesses, a
Right.
lot of national Fortune 500 companies. So to see that type of ecosystem was different.
Right.
But overall, I had a ball in Louisiana. I took a minute, went back. For a minute, and actually was a news producer and had a child and lived
Wait,
on the
what? Oh, okay, roll back. Okay, I want to.
yeah, so but
News
when
producer.
I moved back and joined the board, I was in Louisiana for a
Okay.
year, living with my daughter's father and doing the happy thing.
Yeah.
Also being a news producer in Lafayette.
Okay, let's
when I
talk about the
came
news
back.
producer part. All right,
Okay.
because see, I always had. No, I'm serious.
Uh,
Okay, so when it comes to producing news, is
Yeah.
there like a template that y'all follow?
There is a script. News is scripted 100%.
Yeah.
And you have a news director who is approving your script. So if the program isn't sounding how he wants it to sound that day, then edit your script.
Really?
However, that was very chaotic and demanding. I think my daughter at the time was like 6 months. And you need to be there. If it's breaking news, you need to
Right.
be there. And the news don't pay. I'll be real.
No.
Broadcast in that industry is definitely seeing a decline. So
Uh-huh.
I'll be honest, it's people at Buc-ee's and Chick-fil-A who was making more money than I was being a news producer for 2 shows. I produced a news show and a 4 o'clock show, and I was making less than $20 an hour.
Oh, wow.
So it's very fun, very fast paced, great for your younger 20s.
Yeah.
But after that, I did it. It was good. I'm happy what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Trying to impact
Mm-hmm.
a city, I would say,
Okay.
or just those around me.
All right. So I definitely want to transition and talk about J Sage Productions. So J Sage Productions. All right. I'm going to start with the name because I think, everything important in life has a specific name that really defines that importance, right?
Mhm.
Okay. It's like the name that you were either given at birth or the name that we sometimes change to, or if we're doing projects, or you know how artists are, we're going to come up with a name, a nickname, or whatever the case may be. J Sage Productions. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know really sure about the name. I believe the J part was just a nickname I had. People call me Jay all the time. And the Sage part came from, I wanted to keep my initials the JS.
Mhm.
So I was trying to think of other terms that started with the S, but symbolized somebody wise. And that's what the word sage means. It's like an expert,
Yeah.
someone who's wise.
Okay.
So I just married the two and
Okay.
submitted my paper when I was in grad school.
And the rest was history.
Anywho, the rest was history. I've actually thought about renaming it a few times, but like you said, the words you speak over your business, over your life,
Right.
is what you want to speak into existence. So I'll just figure J and then Sage and we keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that you did some work with South by Southwest, and I remember when South by Southwest was on a block. It was 6th Street.
And see, I didn't experience it back then. So
Oh, those
you
the good
see
old
the
days.
origin.
Yeah, those are good old days.
Yes, I saw it around about that era from like 2016 to 2018, where it was, I would say, at its peak. I don't want to say it's declined now, but I'm sure it's probably not as grassroots as when you saw it.
Right.
And passionate. We're going to use that word.
Yeah. It was, to me, it felt more like an indie fest.
Yeah.
It was very grassroots. You had a lot of alternative acts that were coming through, a lot of breakthrough acts.
Yes.
They didn't have all these different elements. It was basically music. Yeah, and that's the thing that I loved about it. And as a musician, that was the goal.
Yeah.
Do South by Southwest.
Exactly. And if you got found or discovered there, that was what you needed.
That was the
to take
the ramp. It was gonna take you to where hopefully take you to where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
But now it's international. They've got fashion, they got food, podcast, film,
Yeah.
all types of stuff. And so on the one hand, I appreciate it,
Okay.
but on the other hand, I miss
I
those
do
early
too.
years.
I do too. And around that time when I was working with it, I would say my expertise when I was dealing solely with artists was the booking, the PR, and the management. So different artists I would work with throughout Dallas would just
Okay.
be trying to use me to book them different shows and different concerts
Right.
during that South by Southwest week. And then
Right.
I would put together their EPKs or their media kits or just try to make sure they maximize their exposure
Yeah.
when they were down there.
Yeah.
To your point, I haven't been too versed in the music and entertainment scene. I'm
Yeah.
working with some artists out here now and would love to do a concert with you. But yeah, I think like you're saying, it's so many other pieces
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
corporations
Right.
involved
Right.
now, and then music doesn't seem as organic.
Right.
It's
Right.
really if you got enough streams and enough music,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can go straight to the top. You know,
Absolutely.
a lot of
Absolutely.
artists don't even like right now. I'm currently trying to fill the spot for a headliner for the DeSoto Artist Lab Festival. You helped help us put together last year. And just going through artists locally. Who knows how to perform?
Yeah.
Who knows who could we put on stage
Yeah.
in the heat and still give us a show
Yeah.
or play original music
Yeah.
and all of that. So I think that piece is in is
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting you said that because when it comes to performing artists nowadays,
performing
see,
artists.
so many artists are used to performing for video
Yeah.
to a video
For content.
audience.
Yeah, that's
Content,
true. That's
opposed to getting on a stage and really being able to rock a crowd, to take that vibe, that energy. And it's almost like, what I'm going to give you, you're going to give it right back to me. What you're going to give me, I'm going to give it right back to
Yeah.
you. And so there's a real partnership in that performance,
Yeah.
which, and I didn't even think about this, but seeing that you were down in Louisiana for a while, all right? And I know that they're totally different in terms of music per se and culture, but South by Southwest versus the Essence Fest, okay? Now, again, I know that they're different culturally. I know the music is different. I know even the crowds are different. But in terms of the festival, the energy, the ability to network, the ability to
Yeah.
grow, which would you say is edging out more than this? And I know, hey, I don't want to put you on the spot because J Sage Production could be producing
Either
Essence Fest in
one.
about
I
5
could be
years.
talking
Could be
myself out
producing
of a
South by
deal.
Southwest in 3 years.
Yeah.
You don't want to burn any bridges,
Mhm.
but just us in the four walls and the ceiling plate.
Yeah. At the greenhouse.
The greenhouse.
Yeah. I think they were birthed with different objectives in mind. So I think South by Southwest was like you were saying, the organic grassroots, passionate artists who's trying to get discovered and roll with that.
Right.
Essence Festival was from Essence Magazine, which
Yeah.
is the magazine for the sister girls,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
for sisterhood and Black women and empowering.
Yeah.
I think it was more of a event to go hang out with your girlfriends, feel good, feel
Mhm.
motivated, and things like that. I think Essence always has the potential to be great and
Right.
amazing
Right.
because of where it is. It's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And it's such an annual event there now. And the corporations, the artists buy-in is Black backed,
Mhm.
as in the foundationally for African Americans. South by Southwest, I think, is still a great concept.
Right.
I think it's now almost on a global level. So I just think as it grows, it probably just has to keep in mind its foundation.
Right.
Are you serving the artists that are on SoundCloud, or are you serving the artists that are performing at arenas?
Yeah.
And serving the entrepreneur who's looking to get funded for $3 million? What is the soul heart of it?
Yeah.
And then too, I don't know if you've seen the discourse on the internet about, I think Essence Festival or the CEO of Essence is native to Africa. She's not African American.
No.
So there's been a diaspora conversation. A lot of the things are for Black American women, but more
okay.
first generation Africans.
Mhm.
There has been some like discourse about that. But to Essence point, and I'm always rep from my Oak Cliff girls, it is definitely a forest bias event.
Yeah.
We all Black at the end of the day, 100% agree.
Oh, yeah.
But just remember the roots.
Yeah. See, this is, I used to go to Essence Fest
Mm.
all the time, like every year.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, and I even performed there, like in the small sets. It's like they just have the little small sets off to the side. Never made it to the main stage, right?
Okay.
But I look at it like this. Okay, I didn't leave the Essence Fest. Essence Fest loved me, and the reason I say that is I remember when they used to have like really unique artists.
See, I'm not familiar with SSS too much
Yeah.
on the music side.
Yeah. They used to
Well,
have
underground, because I've been to the concerts, but that's about it.
Yeah, even with the concerts,
Uh-huh.
they used to have like unique artists,
Mhm.
up and coming artists. The neo soul years,
Uh-huh.
I think they were the best years, to be quite honest. But then they fell into this. Let's keep doing what has worked. So we're gonna keep bringing you Frankie Beverly. We're gonna keep bringing you Mary J.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep bringing you
What was
Maxwell.
working?
Yeah, and it's year after year, and it's the same thing. So it's
That's a
turned
good
into
point.
this family reunion thing,
That makes a
which
good
is
point.
cool,
That's a good
right?
point. No.
And I think there's definitely an audience for that.
Mhm.
But for me, I want to go in and I really want to experience the creatives.
Right.
I want to experience the person who's right on that edge. I don't want to hear Mary J. Blige,
For the
sing,
5th year in a row.
singing
Doing
those.
the boot kid.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now, so that's interesting because one thing that you touched on is Black females. And I want to get into talking about your journey as a Black female entrepreneur. Okay. Because that's a lesson, or at least the things that you've learned. I think that's what's going to resonate with that next generation because right now you're part of the frontier. You're part of the group that's shaping this space. And so you have young Black girls coming up and they're looking at you because you're old, but you're not too far away from their cultural,
Disconnected.
imprint, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So you're part of this, I call almost everything space, right? Because I believe we have to have room to operate in, right?
Yeah.
And so space provides you with that real estate. I had a conversation just a few days ago, and I was explaining to someone that I prefer operating based off of a blue sky definition
Okay.
opposed to a box definition. Because if you have to say, I think outside the box, the next question should be, why is there a box anywhere? But when you look at blue sky, you look up, it's just a blue sky and you can create whatever you want. There are no parameters, right? Okay, so with J Sage, I'm looking at it as blue sky. Here you are, an Oak Cliff baby,
Yeah.
Black female, and an entrepreneur in the entertainment and production space. All right, let's talk about how you navigate in this space. Let's start with the challenges first.
I think you probably addressed them right there, which is being a female. Women, we already have those natural barriers, whereas sometimes you are expected to do things. The relationships are expected to be transactional, we'll say that.
Right.
And that can happen a lot more cases than none. I've been in a situation before where back in the day, I was doing a lot of concerts and
Yeah.
promoting and things like that. And to be honest, it was like either you in or you out. And I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And the phone stopped ringing. So that does happen. But what I will say is my work has spoke for itself. The events I've done, the people I've worked with, the situations I've been able to put other people in and them vouch for me has, I would say, been a great deal. So really just at the end of the day, remember you there to get the job done.
Right.
If so-and-so is a distraction or if a situation is a distraction, handle it later. Get the job done first.
Yeah.
If some opportunities are removed from you, let that be.
Right.
Because I've been in situations too before where I was working with somebody on a series of events, didn't hear from that person anymore. And lo and behold, they had somebody on their head because they owed them some money. That's just how God works sometimes. Just do good, be on top of it. Always try to be the smartest in the room, but don't be afraid to ask for help and guidance.
Right.
I asked for a lot of guidance. I had a lot of women around me in my corporate career that I wouldn't mind asking from advice from. If there is somebody you just grab lunch with twice a week, twice a year, do it,
Right.
and just go from there. But at the end of the day, be there for your business. And
Yeah,
get
yeah,
back
yeah,
to
yeah.
it and
Yeah,
get over it.
absolutely. You got to be there for the business. In fact, one of the reasons that I was okay leaving the entertainment space is because of the masculine toxicity,
Yeah,
male toxicity.
yeah.
And it gets
It
to a
does
point
run
where, yeah, absolutely. It gets to a point where you're just like, why?
Mm.
When I grew up with two sisters, it was my
Yeah.
mom and my dad. It was a very traditional household, right? But the women, they were like powerful. They were strong. They were like ebony with the afro, with the fist held up type of strong, right? And so that male or masculine
Yeah.
toxicity, it permeates the entertainment world, no matter if it's film or if it's music or if it's
Yeah.
behind the scenes or if it's even in the event promotion space. It's always as though it seems to drill down to transactional
Yeah.
situations. And it's really sad because I think humanity is like a car battery. We got to have plus and we got to have negative, positive, negative energy, right? And so we have to be able to exist with one another as male, as female, because that creates balance,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
And so when you have too much of one thing and that toxicity, and then here you come with your ideals and yeah, but he really not feeling my words,
Right.
you know.
Or he probably is feeling my words and he's making his own notes, but he has the keys to the operation. So
Yeah.
he's the one who's in contact with maybe the promoter, the guy who's
Right.
giving the money to
Right.
pay the art.
Right. Right.
And he can get you in the door
Mm.
and help you be the stage manager for this show.
Right.
But is you going to drinks with him after y'all have this meeting?
Right. Right. Right.
No, you're not. All right, he done took your idea,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
you're seeing it happen in fruition.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it does happen. And seeing things like, sadly, like the whole Diddy situation,
Yeah.
it makes you think the taboo, which is you've been in the entertainment world, stuff like that does happen.
Right.
And you think of the level. I'm working with artists who got mixtapes. I'm not working with no Grammy platinum selling musicians.
Right.
So you can only imagine the extent
Yeah.
of which people are going to for that level of fame, of
Right.
fortune, and all of those things. Yeah, get your job done and leave.
Oh yeah,
Get
you
your
definitely got to get your job
and leave.
done. In fact, one of the last things I did before I was like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
There was an artist, my cousin, Terry McGill. He has a production company. He worked for Atlantic back in the day as an A&R director,
And
right?
he knows a lot then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure. Atlantic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
You had Atlantic, you had RCA, and then you had Def Jam, right?
Uh-huh.
So he cycled through all of these.
Oh, wow.
But he was bringing artists into town. So really well-known rap artists came to town, right? And he said, hey, Will, so you're assigned to this artist. Now, I'm not going to mention the artist's name because I don't want to get sued,
Uh-huh.
okay? He said, you're assigned to this artist. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, it's like going to be a mentor-mentee type of thing, even though I'm not doing rap, but I was doing beats for rappers, right? So I go to the airport and I pick up the guy and his crew. They told me I had two jobs, basically. Make sure I had their Don Julio.
They drink.
Yeah, make sure I had their drink and make sure there was no gap in females being rotated in front of them.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so I'm like, wait, hold on. Huh?
I accomplished it.
Right. So I'm like, cuz, man, no, dude, we can't do that this week. He was like, okay, I need you at least for Friday night.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, okay. So we take them to the club. They do their performance and everything. And then it was just a matter of handing out cards, taking numbers, handing out cards, taking numbers.
Ooh.
And after that, I was like, no, it's transactional because of the promises that these guys are making to the females, the singers or the female rappers. And at that point in time, they're like, hey, I can make you a star. And then you got Twilight Eyes saying, yeah, of course you can. But that's enough talk about the bottom side of the entertainment, or at least the space that you operate. Okay, let's talk about that upside, all right? The things that you really like.
Yeah. So I would say overall, I'm passionate about just management, whether that be event management, artist management. Right now, it's definitely more towards event and production management. I like seeing things and putting things together and watching that come to fruition. But that's what I would say is the most exciting part is seeing people's passion and visions come
Mhm.
to fruition, whether that be a concert, a festival, or some sort of something that brings people together.
Okay.
And I like that's what a lot of my work does is it brings people together,
Yeah.
whether it be through interest in a certain song, a certain artist, a certain issue,
Yeah.
political issue,
Yeah.
or a topic. So I think that's what's beautiful about it is people like to support me really because they just know I'm gonna get at least some good people in the room too.
Right. Right.
I'm a good person. I think I am, and hopefully everybody else around me does. But overall, people will like to support whether it be an event, a concert, a workshop, because they know there are other like-minded individuals in there that are all towards some sort of niche. I
Right.
feel as though that's the plus side of my work is that you can honestly say I'm not doing anything out here that's negatively impacting the community, which would be the African American community, the small business community, the political community. It's all about forward thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's forward thinking. It sounds like there's some paying it forward as also.
for sure, for
Um,
sure. Because I feel women paid it for me. I had an internship. I think my first real business internship was at Mary Kay in Addison.
oh yeah.
And it's when the chief marketing officer is a black woman.
Oh,
Just reached out to her and got it. So it's just how else we gonna get the next group moving along if we not extending those opportunities? That's just my motto.
yeah.
When girls ask me for advice, I give it.
Yeah.
I'm always lending your ear
Yeah.
and giving free game the game, and it could be free, but you ain't me. So it doesn't matter. I'm not a gatekeeper at all because I know at the end of the day, my work don't speak for itself, and I am who I am. So
Yeah.
the result is just gonna be different. But
Have you ever had an event and you pulled everything together, and then the day of the event, it just everything just came apart, and you eventually fell flat? Then
I would say one. Trying to think, maybe one. I've had one that just my turnout didn't turn
okay.
out the way I did. So there was a point I used to work for the Dallas Entrepreneur Center Network when they were in Redbird, but when it not in the nice part they in now. When it was first under construction back in like 2020.
Okay.
So when the parking lot and stuff was gravel. So it was just a lot of visual and just building things that would deter people coming to our
Okay.
event.
Okay. Okay. But
But
you never been in one of
overall,
those situations where you rented gear, then the day of you went to go get the gear and it was
for
gone?
example, how you guys have this set up right here. I am production, but I am not. I'm director.
Yeah.
I am not the person to get behind that camera.
Okay.
So if I do not have a person, and it's happened plenty of times,
Okay.
all the if there's equipment, if I don't have someone there with me, you can hang it up. But yeah, normally the show must go on.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person where do we have a projector? Do we got a microphone? Do we
Mhm.
got a
Right.
Zoom link? What can we do? What can
Okay.
we do?
Okay. Yeah.
But I also believe in delegating tasks. So I'm an expert at the management part,
Yeah.
but I know I'm not the expert photographer. Hire a photographer. Just trying to make sure everything is executed smoothly. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the flow person. If he blow up the day of we're planning this festival, if we don't get 1,000 people, if we land with 100 people, the show must go on.
The show.
The show must go on.
See, I'm
Yeah.
glad you think that way. Look, when I was doing poetry, I got booked in Connecticut to open for a comedian. Right? Okay. Now I didn't know the comedian. Comedian didn't know me. The promoters booked us separately, but the promoter thought that it would be a good idea to bring these two elements together. Right? So I get up there and I do the whole soulful, cool, laid back poetry set. Right? And I got my track playing behind me. I get off and I go back to the back and to the bar and I'm chilling. Comic comes up there. The first 10 minutes of his show, he spent putting me up in my poetry.
No.
And it was like, oh my gosh. But I had to stay there until the very end so I could get my money.
Oh, wow.
If I wouldn't gotten the money beforehand,
Oh, you would have been gone.
I would have been gone. And so it was so funny because they kept putting a little spotlight back there on me. You know,
Did he not have material if you wasn't a
oh, yeah,
selling
he
job?
did have his material, but he didn't see the need to have poetry open up for comedy. All right.
Oh, okay.
He's thinking that it's two totally different
Yeah.
spaces. Okay. So the space is coming together. And because he was the headliner, of course, he was making way more than. It's like he flies up, maybe it was business, but I flew up, I'm right next to the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
That's the ticket they gave me. And then I ended up having to sleep on the promoter's sofa because the motel they booked me into,
it wasn't up to par.
nah, it was less than up to par. Look, rats wouldn't even stay in it. That motel, it was
Not
awful.
even.
It was awful. So we talked about your origin story. We talked about your journey, J Sage. We talked about being on the frontier, on the front lines, part of this space for the ones that are behind you looking at you, right? And I know that there's pressure in being an entrepreneur. I know there's a lot of pressure. Business owner, and I'm still going to go back to Oak Cliff baby, Black female, entrepreneur, business owner, all right? And mother, all right?
Yeah.
Can't forget that. So you have a lot of things cooking and brewing, and there's a lot of responsibility. With the responsibility comes stress. So I want to really get into the mental health aspect of taking care of yourself as an entrepreneur, as a Black female entrepreneur. Mental health, all right? I think when it comes to taking care of yourself, each and every person, we have to take care of the physical, the emotional, spiritual, and the mental. And it's challenging. It's really hard because life is not going to slow down. If anything, it's going to speed up.
Yeah.
So you have to take those moments, take the time to say, no, I'm going to pause and I'm going to do something healthy for myself. So I want to really talk about what are those healthy things. And the Jamila who's here today, what would she say to the 5-year-old, the 10-year-old, the 15-year-old Jamila who's maybe going through whatever challenges were percolating back then?
I would say, I'll answer the last one first. To the younger me, I would say to not put so much pressure on figuring out exactly what you're going to do or just what path you're going to take career-wise, because it just naturally ebbs and flows. Over time, it just falls into place.
Right.
There is no straight path. Don't compare. Run your own race. As far as taking a break stuff, the first part is to do work you're passionate about. So it's not driving me so crazy. When you do have to slam that laptop closed and just work outside, I do that a lot. I take my laptop and I work on somebody's coffee shop, somebody's patio. Just the environment you're in plays a big part of it. Knowing when to cut work off.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm still in corporate America, but I work from home. I work hybrid. So that working from home is great, but sometimes they don't remember. You have to have, when you're in the office, because we do both.
Yeah.
We work less in the office than we do at home.
Yeah.
Because at the office, you stopping by your coworkers. They're talking, you getting coffee, you parlaying, you might be playing put. At home, ding, 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 those notifications are nonstop. Make sure you set boundaries, even if it's a calendar reminder. No work.
Right.
From 6 till tomorrow. No work.
Right.
So just really those boundaries I set forth in myself and planning just outings. If it's something I see I want to do, just maybe a festival or concert, I put it in my calendar. I prioritize fun.
Right.
You gotta prioritize fun. I have a lot of friends who are married with multiple kids, and they're like, how are you still outside? Because when, y'all know me, my daughter's gonna be with me, or two, I make sure I prioritize. You have to really wake up and choose to be happy. You have to choose it.
That's important.
You can't, it might be hard at night, but joy comes in the morning.
Right.
I just prioritize what makes me fun. If they done went crazy in the emails today at work, I'm closing my laptops and I'm doing a glorious for dinner that night. For me, it has to be instant too. I can't be stressed and sitting something for too long.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. Don't let what's frustrating you frustrate you for too long.
Yeah.
Because then it just turns into resentment, and then you hurting yourself more than the situation by sitting and being frustrated. So whatever makes me happy, fun, being outside, being outdoors, being with family, traveling, I make sure that's on the calendar first,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the work falls
Yeah,
around
absolutely. I
it.
totally agree. I totally agree. This is one of the things that you said that, I always say peace is a choice. Joy is a choice. Happiness
Yes.
is a choice. And we have to
Yes.
remember that, because in everything we do, we can only control what we control, right? And that part of what we control should be the part that brings us
Yeah,
joy, peace,
for sure.
and happiness. I think sometimes it just gets lost in
Yeah.
the shuffle.
And
Seems
then sorry to cut you off,
Yeah.
but I always tell my friends, and I have trouble with this too, don't let things you can't control get you upset.
Yeah.
So you can't
Yeah.
be lingering on things, a way a person is acting and thinking, you can't control this person.
For-
You can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like social media, it really gets folks up in arms. And it's
And I take breaks. I'll
Yeah.
delete Instagram for a month.
yeah,
If I haven't downloaded, I really would be off Instagram if it wasn't for my clients and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
yeah.
But I'll get off the app for a while.
Yeah.
Facebook just here so my cousins in California can see my baby. Really? Yeah.
It's like you said, you got to take breaks.
Yeah.
You got to take breaks. This is a fun part of the podcast.
Okay.
Right? So,
It's
so
always fun.
so we're going to see how this flows. All right. All right. Favorite group, music group.
Ooh, that's hard. I would say Drew Hill. Drew Hill.
Drew
I
Hill.
love the Gap Band. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. I love Maroon 5. So I would say them. And my girl group, hold on, I'll give you all the group. TLC and SWV.
Okay.
My girl.
Okay. TLC and SWV. Now, if TLC and SWV went on a concert, who
Oh,
would headline?
TLC out of popularity.
You think?
Out of popularity.
Okay.
Because they just think they gonna think they bigger. But SWV gonna have everybody out there singing.
Hey, you didn't even think about In Vogue. We my
Yes.
That's what follow.
I like SWV though.
You like SWV?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. What about movies? You got a favorite movie?
I have a couple.
You can't say Friday.
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't give it to Friday. I love Ice Cube. Would never help you with anything Ice Cube. I love Brown Sugar. I was watching this the other day. Brown
Oh,
Sugar.
Oh, so good. Okay.
I like anything Leonardo DiCaprio.
What?
I do Leonardo DiCaprio.
So how many times have you seen Titanic?
I'm not that big on Titanic, but like Shutter Island, Django. He got quite a few.
Okay.
Gilbert Grape. But yeah. I can't think of too many right now.
All right. Favorite place to vacation?
I like anything by water. So I went to Cancun last year for the first time. So that was nice.
Okay.
Yeah, but anything by water.
Anything about what?
Yeah.
Okay. You got a favorite city in the U.S.? New York, Chicago, L.A.,
Favorite
New Orleans.
city too. I was about to say favorite city to travel and eat would be New Orleans.
Okay.
Travel to relax. I've been to Seattle.
Yeah.
I
I've
really
been to
like
Seattle. A
Seattle.
lot. Seattle depresses me though because of the
Everybody
rain.
says that, but it wasn't too heavy. It was like a little drizzle when we was there. But
Okay.
it was fun. Yeah. Depends on the energy I want on that trip. Do I want to turn up? I'm going to Atlanta, Miami. If I want to do touristy museums, I'll go to DC
Okay.
or
Okay.
something like that.
Pizza, taco, or barbecue?
Tacos.
Taco? Like regular tacos?
Yeah.
With like,
some shrimp fajita tacos or
but
some.
that's not a real taco though because it's got shrimp in it.
What's a real
A
taco?
real taco only has taco meat.
Oh, like ground beef?
Yeah.
Oh. Then I'll say barbecue. I'll say
Barbecue?
barbecue. I could go for a chopped brisket,
Okay.
baked potato. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Greenhouse got a real good, yeah, they got a brisket.
I need to look at their menu.
Cheeseburger
It keeps
was- it's
changing. I
flavorful.
see it. Loaded brisket cheeseburger.
Yeah, yeah.
On that song.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. With the loaded fries. They have brisket fries.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's good. You like your tea?
It's good.
Okay, that's
It's
the
good.
hibiscus
Everything
tea.
is good here.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. All right. Flying, taking a bus, or driving yourself in the car?
It depends. No, I'm not even going to say driving because I'll be tired just driving to Houston. I would say,
Okay. Okay.
I don't
Now,
like driving.
let me ask you this, all right? 'Cause I believe that if you ride with someone as a passenger, you can learn everything you need to know about them. if they're patient, okay, if they're judgmental,
Okay.
if they're selfish, if they're kind, simply by the way they drive. What do you think about this?
I think that could be true. I think that could be true, especially if it's a long car ride.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're going to give many different situations.
Yeah, they're
They
going to
gonna
move
have to
over
slam on
in
their
the
brakes
lane
one
without putting the
time.
signal light on.
Yeah, they're going to get sleepy a little bit at one time.
Yeah,
So,
and then say,
you
no, I can
probably
still
could.
drive.
Uh-huh.
Put your life in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they drive to know and I ain't got to drive.
Right. Okay, favorite time of day, AM, PM?
AM, early AM. I love that before the kids get up AM, that 5 to probably 7 AM when the world is quiet and I can get up, work out, pray, journal,
Yeah.
and get my mind right before the world begins rowdying up and the notifications get to going off.
Okay.
Yeah.
A final, this or that, Michael Jackson or Prince?
That is very hard. How y'all gonna ask people that one?
Yeah, that's a good one there.
That one, yes, but it's unfair.
No.
That whole kind of snatched me out the sky.
Now, as long as you're not talking about Beyonce, you good.
Oh, Lord. Dang, that one is hard. Okay, I'll be honest. Whose music I could just listen to casually? Prince. I could just play some Prince.
Early Prince, late Prince. Because
Early Prince.
okay, he was
early
like a
Prince.
roller coaster.
But if I just want to see, if I could go to a concert, would go for Michael Jackson.
Really?
I would go to Michael Jackson. Entertainer.
Yeah, see,
Entertainer. Prince
that's
is
true.
great musician
That's true.
and could give me the instrument.
Yeah.
But maybe when I think of a show,
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, a quick question. Okay, now, because you're in the production space,
Mm.
where would you recommend sitting at a concert? In the first 10 rows, the balcony? Because nowadays, getting a concert seat in the balcony, that's like $100.
If it's $100, it
Yeah.
might be $300 for the nosebleed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You sit down on the floor, that's $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
So it's gotten really crazy.
Yeah.
All right. But in terms of being able to experience the best version of the concert, what would you sit? If you had to pay.
I would probably sit and see, that's a good point because the floor is the floor and a lot of people stand and then you sitting on the floor and everybody standing up and then you're short like me. So it don't even matter. I would say that the balcony, or not even the bleeds, I would say that first balcony row,
Yeah.
but like towards the front, if you could
Okay.
get up there. So where you elevated, but you're not on the floor, but you also close enough to see what's going on the stage and don't have to watch
See,
the Jumbotron.
see, I like that because Vivian and I, we went to 2 concerts.
Uh-huh.
Okay, one was Alicia Keys. Okay, when Alicia Keys actually sung a song, I think it was maybe 5 feet in front of Vil.
Uh-huh.
It was less than 5 feet.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Y'all on the floor?
oh yeah, we were on the
Uh-huh.
floor, but she had a secondary stage that was set up. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so through the grapevine, I found out how the concert was going to flow.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was going to be on the primary stage, but she was going to have her piano set up like in the middle of the audience.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? That's where we're going to get the ticket.
That's for that secondary stage.
Yeah.
That's smart.
And it was like right in front. So when she came out and she was right there, and then when she came down from her piano,
Uh-huh.
it's like she's singing, Vil singing. I'm like, look at that. The second concert
Hey.
was Pink. And it was
Okay.
exactly like you said. Because
Doesn't she fly around a
she
lot?
does. She does. Our seats were off to the side, okay? But they were on the first elevated section, okay? And there was no one in front of us. We had a clear sight line to the stage. Now, they had these huge monitors up, right?
Mhm.
And that kind of, it really brought additional value to the experience. But to be able to see her is, oh, that's a pinkish, bluish belt she has on
Uh-huh.
because we were just that close. So
Right.
that was cool. But I definitely agree with you.
That's
It's like you have to
wild.
really pay attention to where you want to sit, your experience for that event.
Yes. And I haven't been to an arena concert in a while. I've been to some small intimate ones like at the Foundation Room or something like. But yeah, that's a good point. You
Yeah.
got to consider because they be flying. Beyonce be in the car in the
Oh,
sky and stuff.
See, but those arena concerts versus the stadium concerts,
Uh-huh.
that's a totally. I don't like stadium concerts
Uh-huh.
because to bring in 70,000 people for an
It ain't
artist.
that many
Oh,
people.
yeah.
You're
when they
right
have
at
it at
American
AT&T,
Airlines. You're right.
because American
AT&T,
Airlines
you're
the
right.
arena. That's the arena concert.
And Cowboys is a
Yeah,
stadium.
that's a
You're right.
stadium
You're right.
concert. Yes, I can do 30,000 as long as I'm in that first 1,000 to 1,500
I
people up
didn't
front.
realize the crowd different
Yeah,
at the two
yeah,
facilities.
yeah. When they do, I think when Beyonce, when she came, she did
She
a
does
2-day
two
show.
nights.
She's doing them at the stadium so that they can maximize
Whoa.
that gate. Yeah,
Oh, smart.
yeah,
And see, that's how you know how the concert flows.
yeah,
How
yeah.
to maximize that ROI.
Mhm,
Okay.
yep, yep. So, Jamila, thank you for joining me today on this episode 1. I'm really, really happy that you are the guest for this experience.
Yes, and I hope this actually, births and continues to grow.
Yeah,
I was so excited to see, being passionate and on fire for DeSoto, Texas,
yeah.
and whatever else path you guys have. So thank you for having me. I hope to see you keep flourishing. I hope it gets live and picked up soon.
Oh, yeah, we're going national. We're
Yeah,
going national. We're
yeah.
going national. So, thank you, everyone, for checking out this first episode of More Than 2 Minutes. We'll catch you on the flip side. Joe Cab.